Absolutely gutted. Truly gutted. A terrible day at the office for Chelsea. Manchester City was so good. Manchester City was so much better than us. And they've won the league. The title is officially over for Chelsea and for everyone. The Premier League has been won by Manchester City. They are 13 points clear. Nobody can get near them. Chelsea were outclassed today. And the worst thing about it is now, Chelsea are no longer looking aspirationally up the table. We need to be really worried about what Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham get up to. Liverpool win their games in hand. They're above us. We are now really in jeopardy of top four. It was a shambolic performance today. I am gutted with so many players. With the exception of Thiago Silva, Kante and Kovacic, I thought were magnificent. But everybody else, average. And I'll tell you who I was so gutted with, Romelu Lukaku. What's the point in signing Romelu Lukaku? Why do you buy a player that costs £100 million? You buy them to turn up when you're away at the Etihad. The whole point of Romelu Lukaku, the whole point of Chelsea signing Romelu Lukaku was for games like today. And that is twice this season now that we have played Man City and they have completely and utterly dominated us. We had nothing to offer. I barely remember us having a shot. I mean, at half-time, there were literally no shots on target, which is truly pathetic. I think that there were half chances. Hakim Ziyech played a terrible pass. Hakim Ziyech should have done so much more with a couple of opportunities. But ultimately, it was to no avail. But what is the point of Romelu Lukaku if he doesn't turn up in games like this? You know, look, he turned up at Villa Park. We beat Villa anyway. You spend £100 million on a player of Romelu Lukaku's apparent quality to turn up today, to win you the league, to take you from also-rans to title contenders. Like, we were pretenders last year for the league. We were never really there. What we were lacking when it came down to the league, the consistency would be a goal scorer. And we didn't have one. And we signed Romelu Lukaku to change that. And yet again today, just hasn't turned up. We lacked so much going forward. I think that we probably selected the wrong starting lineup. Mason Mount is Chelsea's most reliable, most dependable and best attacker that plays in that position. He's on the bench. To start with Ziyech and Pulisic is really asking for trouble. That is a starting lineup that is not cut out for it. It's a starting lineup that is so lacklustre in so many departments. I think we massively got that wrong. Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Romelu Lukaku is the best that Chelsea can put on the table. And we didn't do that. So I think that there were mistakes made throughout. There was a huge mistake made which led to Man City's winner. I don't know what Kepa Arrizabalaga is doing in that situation. He should save that. It's fairly central shot. Look, it's a very good goal. I mean, the way that Kevin De Bruyne jinked to open up that bit of space, the way that N'Golo Kante missed the tackle is the one moment where he made a mistake today. He missed a tackle. Kevin De Bruyne jinks, drops a shoulder, creates some room, and then curls a decent shot. It was a decent shot. It was a decent and intelligent shot towards the goal. But a good goalie saves that, and Kepa Arrizabalaga should be saving that. What he does, crucially, is turn the wrong way. Kepa Arrizabalaga, he leaps one way to launch himself back the other. I think he uses his right foot, so he takes a step to his right in order to springboard back to his left, and that is what has killed us. If he stands in a stationary position and dives left, he saves that shot without too much effort. But instead of that, he's bounced one way, which has opened up the space, and he missed it. He missed it with his left hand by a Rizla paper. He missed it. So if he'd stayed stationary and leapt, he would have saved it. But that's why he's not an elite goalkeeper. That's why he is second string. And yes, he cost a fortune. Yes, he was one of the most expensive goalkeepers we will ever see. But the reason that he is a second string goalkeeper, and arguably the best second string goalkeeper that the world has ever seen, is because of moments like that. He has an error in him, he has a mistake in him, and he gets things wrong. And that is why we're so reliant upon Edouard Mendy. That is why Edouard Mendy is so reliable for us and so dependable, and why we're so in need of him to return. Because Kepa Arrizabalaga is just not good enough. He is the best second-string goalkeeper in the world. Is that fair to say? I mean, you could make a case maybe for Donnarumma, but he wasn't a second-string goalkeeper. He's been brought to be a first-string goalkeeper, and ultimately circumstance has led to him being second-string, whereas Kepa Arrizabalaga now is not Chelsea's first-choice goalkeeper. So I'm fairly happy with him being the guy that we play when our main dude's not available, but he's cost us points today. He should have saved that. It was a good effort from De Bruyne, but that's all it was. It was a good effort. And you saw what happened down the other end when Romelu Lukaku went through on goal. And sort of chips a half-decent effort, different levels in goalkeeping, and that was on display. But Man City worthy winners. The way they look after the ball, it's almost an education. I think that the way that Raheem Sterling tormented our back line. I mean, Jack Grealish, I've understood has not been seen to have a particularly good game today, and he definitely should have scored. But the invention, the desire, the constant pressing, he is responsible for that, because what happens when you play Man City, the relentless wave after wave after wave of attack is what ultimately wears you down and why they ultimately win the game. That is why they've gone on this run. That's 12 wins in a row. You know, when you think about Man City and who they are and what they represent, I think the easiest thing to do is to sneer at them. The easiest thing to do when Man City beat you today, like they did, is to sneer and come up with reasons as to why and whatever. But you know the way I feel? Maybe because I've come to the sad conclusion that Chelsea can't win the league. On some level, I'm just in awe of what they've done. I'm just so full of admiration for what Pep Guardiola has built. It's astonishing, quite what they have done. And this run that they seem to go on every single season, where they aim to break their own record for consecutive wins, and it's what sets them apart. That is the time that they win the league. It's now, when they're in this run of winning game after game after game. It's amazing, and it's actually revolutionised football. In order to win football matches now, you need to hit a minimum of 90 points, and that is why Chelsea can't win it. It's been a good season from Chelsea, but we are out of the league altogether, as are Liverpool and everybody else, I believe now. I think it's done. But I'm really gutted, because we can beat City. We've proven that we can beat them. We knocked them out of the cup. We beat them in the Champions League final, which is proof that Chelsea have it in them and have the minerals to beat Man City. But sadly, today we just didn't turn up. Crucial errors tactically, crucial errors personnel-wise. But then individuals, man. Individuals just haven't turned up. N'Golo Kante was masterful. Mateo Kovacic playing the best football that I've seen him play for Chelsea. Thiago Silva, his usual brilliant self. But what is the point of Romelu Lukaku if he doesn't turn up in games like this? If Romelu Lukaku is not going to turn up in games like this, then I really don't understand the point of us signing him. I think that he was appalling today, absolutely appalling. No real desire, no hunger. Players of his quality, apparent quality at least, should be taking the game by the scruff of the neck and dragging Chelsea to victories that perhaps we don't even deserve. But there was nothing like that, absolutely nothing. And a combination of lacklustre performances throughout the pitch. I mean, Marcus Alonso was given a terrible time. But how many individuals can I highlight that had a bad game today for Chelsea? And conversely, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne, a man of the match, but I thought Sterling was great. And the Manchester City team, just generally, was so good. So sadly, we have to concede that Chelsea have lost not only the game, but the pursuit of the league title. And it's early, isn't it? It's very early to say that. Gutted, truly gutted. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry for venting. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like. Please click subscribe. And I will see you all on the next video. Go easy, step lightly, and stay free, my friends. Ta-da.